What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and today we're going to be talking about the hidden changes in Season 2 Reloaded, some new features you didn't know about, plus even more. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and also as a reminder, we got plenty of brand new content going up over on dkdynamite.com for those that want additional coverage of multiplayer, Warzone, and zombies. Plus, we got plenty of tweets every single hour on Detonated's Twitter. Now, with that being said, I do want to mention that, as you're seeing in the background, Dome has been added into MW3 multiplayer. I know it was known as Zaya Observatory in MW2 2022, but that map has been brought back via Carry Forward, and although there isn't a MW2 Carry Forward playlist, the map itself is in regular rotation for most modes, I believe. I did find that while playing some bounty, so enjoy some quick footage here in the background, and I do believe they're going to also keep most of the Carry Forward maps in regular rotation now, but I'm sure they'll cycle maps out here and there just to keep things fresh. But they've also updated a random blueprint from the Season 2 Battle Pass. The Incision Renetti blueprint has now been updated to look dark purple instead of what it was before, and yeah, there were some inappropriate jokes on Twitter about what the gun looked like before, so I'm assuming Activision saw that and were like, hey, we need to make sure the weapon doesn't look or sound inappropriate, so what they went and did is updated it completely. It looks like a brand new blueprint altogether. So for those out there wondering why one of their blueprints on a Renetti does look like it's brand new, it's because it is, and you guys might have already had it unlocked if you had finished your Battle Pass sector. But they've also gone ahead and added in the ability to filter attachments by subcategories. This is a massive feature that we've been talking about for the last few months. I mean, I would hope all platforms get a feature like this, but what I had suggested is at least the ability to search for the attachment you're looking for. If you know what the best loadout is for a certain meta, and you just want to go ahead and search for a certain optic or a certain grip, you should be able to do that considering there's so many damn options for every single attachment. I mean, it's just unbelievable, and I'm not against Carry Forward, but we just need a way to filter things out, and now we have that. So you can filter attachments by optics, muzzles, underbarrels. It's really damn useful, and although you can't search specifically for one attachment, being able to filter things out does help quite a bit. Now, I do want to circle back to the Battle Pass because what they've gone ahead and done is introduced us to a universal camo unlock via the classified sector. This is the first time they've done that, and I'm actually really happy about it since we've been looking at new ways to unlock camos with Modern Warfare 3. Obviously, you have your promo items here and there where, yeah, you buy something in real life, you get a code, you redeem that, you get an in-game reward, and that's been a camo before. We've also had the camos released via in-game challenge events. We've even seen them added in through free bundles, through bundles you pay for, and now a new way they're introducing us to camos, aside from what we got before with weekly challenges, because we have gotten a camo for finishing 8 weeks worth. We ended up getting a camo through the classified sector, and I'm glad they've done this because it just gives more value to the classified sector altogether. If you throw in an aftermarket part, an XP token, a camo, and then the HVT is the new DLC weapon of the season, that's a great way to just encourage people to complete those classified challenges. So what do you know, we have the Grave Robber universal camo that is, I would say, somewhat zombies themed, and this is definitely a zombies themed season, so that makes sense. So I'm really happy with how they've done this, but let me know down below in the comments if you finished your classified sector. Now, before we continue, I just wanted to remind you about MitchCactus.com, where you can get assistance grinding camos, nukes, or schematics in MW3. These guys do not use unlock tools or any bannable methods and will actually help you play the game. Mitch Cactus is also supported by Trustpilot with over 10,000 verified reviews. You can use code Dynamite for a limited time to save 5% off your order. Now, amongst one of the biggest changes we got with Reloaded that I couldn't be more excited about, this is something that we've been talking about for quite some time now, and that is the ability to track your challenges when you pause the game. While you're in a match, whether it's multiplayer, Warzone, zombies, and you pause your game, you should be able to see some progress on some challenges you're working on, whether it's camo challenges, weeklies, dailies, whatever the case is. There should be a way to track that. I mean, it is 2024, and it sucks that, especially when you're in multiplayer, there could be times when you have multiple classes ready to go, you're grinding camos for all those weapons, and you could almost get them all done in one game if you're in a long enough match, but you might forget what the challenges are that you need to do, and if you don't have them written down next to you or have a video pulled up, then you gotta back out of the game, check it out, and then hop right back in. For MP, that's not that big of a deal, but for zombies, yeah, you gotta back out and then go back in, set up again. That could be frustrating, but what they've done now is added the ability to select add to tracked in your camo menu when you're looking at some of those challenges, or even in the weekly challenges. So you can just add to tracked, and you can then pause your game when you're in a match, and you can see up to 5 challenges that you're working on. So this is absolutely beautiful. This is amongst one of the best quality of life updates we've ever gotten. But if that didn't surprise you, hear this out. So with the release of Reloaded, we obviously got the new Soul Render melee weapon, and something that a lot of us noticed was the ability to actually hit through somebody's Riot shield. You were able to counter a Riot shield by just using the Soul Render against someone someone using one. And what that would do is the animation would counter the Riot Shield's ability to protect that other player. So right off the gate, we're like, wait a second, that has to be a bug, because never have we seen in another Call of Duty title the ability to punch through or slice through somebody's shield using a melee. So Detonated put out a tweet about it, in which Sledgehammer replied saying it's actually not a bug and it's intentional for the Soul Render to be able to counter a Riot Shield, just like you can do with the Jack Limb Ripper and the Jack Purifier. I actually had no idea that you were able to do that with all three of these weapons. Let me know in the comments if you guys knew about this, but judging from the replies of that tweet, a lot of folks out there didn't know this was a thing, and I'm really happy that it is, because I can't even tell you for how many years it's been frustrating to go up against enemies using Riot Shields because there was no way to counter them. You could stun them, try to flank behind them, have your teammates gang up on them, but other than that, there was no way to really defeat somebody with the shield. I mean, you could Semtex it if you can manage to throw it correctly, but this is a massive feature that needs to be in every Call of Duty going forward, whether it's when you're using a melee weapon or an aftermarket part or something special in the game. This is incredible. Now, although some of these changes we're talking about were featured in the patch notes, not everybody reads them, and on top of that, sometimes some cool changes such as quality of life improvements do get buried beneath a bunch of other information that becomes too overwhelming for people to keep up with, so that's why this video does exist. But Sledgehammer went ahead and amended those patch notes by mentioning a Stimshot overhaul. So as you guys can see, they've now overhauled the Stimshot to where, upon use, a 25-second resupply timer will begin, allowing multiple uses per life. Funny enough, Cold War already had this feature, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember if Vanguard did, but MW2 and the first half of this game's life cycle certainly didn't, so it's really cool to see they're giving more use of the Stimshot. I mean, the more the merrier when it comes to quality of life improvements. I'm just hoping that more changes like this do remain a staple for every future Call of Duty to come, even if the game doesn't come from Sledgehammer. These are just really helpful changes that give the Stimshot more purpose, to be quite honest with you. But also something that I saw some confusion about, and I know not everybody knows, is that the MW2 version of Shipment, which was brought into this game via carry forward, is no longer available. It has been permanently replaced by Shipmas. This is the Christmas variant of Shipment that we got just a couple of months ago with the Codmas event. It's a very beautiful version of Shipmas that just feels fresh, and I know it's the same layout, it's the same map as we've always seen for Shipment, but having a different aesthetic for the map itself just keeps it alive. I mean, it just feels like a fresh experience, which is what the community needs when it comes to bringing maps back every now and again. If you do a reimagining, like what we just got with DOS House as well, if you do a reimagining, then the map just feels like a new experience, even if it is the same layout as a map that we might have played a couple of years ago. In Shipment's case, we play the same map almost every single year, so keeping in the best version possible I think was the smartest move, and the map does look absolutely gorgeous. But speaking of maps, they've also added in a map widget. As you can see, when you're cycling through some quick play options, you can now see what maps are available for most of those options, so that's helpful for clarity for those out there that are like, wait, what maps are in the pool for this mode or that option? Really happy to see some of these changes, but overall I gotta say this is probably one of the best updates in recent years in terms of quality of life changes. Not only are they listening to feedback, but they're also incorporating features that they probably know we'd like based on their experience with previous COD titles and feedback they might have gotten in games that maybe even aren't Modern Warfare 3. They're like, hey, let's just go back to something that maybe we experimented with in Vanguard or something that was already in the game like Cold War. Let's bring that into this game since it would probably make the most sense. So overall, bravo to all teams involved that went ahead and incorporated some of the best quality of life changes we've gotten in years here with Season 2 Reloaded. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the hidden changes here in our mid-Season 2 updates? What are your thoughts on these features that you guys probably didn't know about? And again, this was kind of multiplayer focused, but we'll be talking more about zombies in a video later tonight. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.